Hi, everybody. It's Lori Dollar, the Atlanta Marketing Director. I wanted to record this presentation that I did, or the presentation I did in Destin, for those of you that couldn't be there, so that you could take advantage and be able to watch it as well, and hopefully learn some great tips and tricks and really help improve your business. So, that being said, let's get started. I am going to go ahead and take away the little video section here so you don't have to look at me. And so it's not distracting on the screen. So, all right, let's go ahead and start. So the title of this presentation is called Lights, Camera, Canva, Create Listing Videos That Shine. My goal is really to help you, if you are already a Canva user, to help strengthen your Canva skills and help you kind of really create a little bit more engaging social media content and videos, something that, is going to get a little bit more interaction and gets noticed more. And if you've never used Canva, hopefully this will give you some Canva basics, which I'm going to show in the beginning of the video, and really take the intimidation factor out of designing and creating videos because editing videos is really difficult, and I find this is so simplistic and really user friendly. So that's my goal for today. So, all right, let me just kind of jump into the presentation mode here so you can see a little bit better. All right, so we're going to really talk about how Canva can help you create design content that just helps get you noticed more. So what is Canva if you've never heard of it? It's an easy to use online design platform, and it really helps you create so many different types of content, whether it's a presentation, which is what this is that you're looking at here. This is all in Canva. Could be a listing flyer, social media post, the videos that we're going to create at the end, and more. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And really with Canva, I just suggest you kind of get in there and play around. And that's kind of how you learn, is just by kind of clicking on all the stuff and make a mistake. So you can, really, you can be a beginner or an expert, it doesn't matter. But the best part is you really just don't have to be a graphic designer or have design experience. And I did not have either when I started using this. So I had the very, very basics with Canva when I started. So I do want to let you know they offer two accounts, and we'll talk about both today. One is a free account, and I usually recommend people try this for about 30 days if they're unsure if they want the free or the paid version. So the second is also the paid version, or the pro account, you'll hear it referred to. The last time I checked, it was around $13 a month a couple of weeks ago. So of course that's subject to change. And if you also have a group of people that work within Canva in your office, you might want to consider doing a Teams account, because you can have up to 5 users, and I believe it's less. It's around like $10 a month, something like that. So just some suggestions for that. So let's talk about engagement before we get started. And most of this I'll show you, you're going to be watching, so it won't be just a bunch of slides with text on it. I'm going to be working in here and showing you different things. Um, but let's talk engagement. So across platforms, video gets about 30 to 80% more engagement and up to 1,200% more shares than image-based posts. So those are big numbers. Specifically on Facebook, video gets almost 60% more engagement, and on Instagram, video gets almost 40% more engagement. So we're going to start by just working with some Canva basics just to kind of show you how to create some general designs. And that will kind of give you the foundation to really jump in more and create more advanced designs and like video and other things. So, all right, so the website that we're going to go to is called canva.com, Canva. There's no S at the end. They do also have a mobile version. If that's something that you want to use. I find it a little bit harder to do on my phone, but you are certainly welcome to play with that as well. So in the first section here, we're going to talk about adding and uploading photos, how to use photo frames, adding text boxes, logos, creating just different graphic elements, animations, and so on. So instead of talking, let's get working and let me show you. All right. So the first section here that we're going to do is sort of rebuild this template. So this is a picture of Kate, not Olivia, and she's in our McDonough office. And it's just to show you some of the basic features in Canva, and we'll redesign this. So let me get out of here. And we are going to actually, let me go ahead and remove all this so we can start from scratch here. All right, so how did I get to this more basic looking plain template? So where you would go is, let's just start at the beginning, and we're just going to go right to our home page. So this is canva.com, you can see at the top, and this is my home screen. Now, Canva is basically going to ask you, well, what do you want to do today? And so you can choose, well, I'm going to create a presentation today, maybe a social media post, or hey, I'm just going to do a listing flyer. So if you don't see what you like, you can click that more button. And for example, for flyer, you could just type in the word flyer and it'll give you all the different flyer options to start. So if I were to click one of these, it would just open up a white screen, just like you're seeing here that I'm going to show you in just a minute. I'm actually working in the presentation screen, but you can choose obviously whatever it is that you're working in. This is just gives me more space to show you things. So if we go back to our original document or our original design, you can see the first thing you might see is the biggest thing is the photo. So where did that come from? How do we get that going? So let's look over on the left-hand toolbar, and we're going to work within three major areas today here. We're going to work within elements, text boxes, and uploads here. So we're going to start with elements, and I'm going to click that. And that photo, to find something like that photo, we're just going to type in luxury living room. Okay, we'll see photos and graphics, videos, and more. I'm going to click on the see all button for photos. And there you have it. You'll see all the different choices that you can use. Now, if you have a free account, you can well, if you have a pro account, let me start there. Anything with a crown is what you're able to use, as well as anything else without the crown. If you decide at this time to do a free account, that's certainly fine. Just make sure that you're clicking, it will only let you use photos that don't have the crown. So for example, I wanted this one, or this one, or this one, and so on. So I would choose that picture that I just saw there, actually have it saved. So I'm going to go down here and pull that image out of a saved folder that I have. And all you're going to do is tap it, click, and when I did, it popped right here into my desktop or onto my workspace or design space. So I can then move this around any way I want. I could take these little dots on the corners here and I can stretch them. I can move them out, move them in, so on. I can even crop in and out if I want. So I'm just going to drop it on my desk or my workspace here, kind of stretch it out a little bit. Okay, now the one thing you might have noticed, I did go ahead and drop a logo on here. Please make sure you're adding your Crye-Leike logos and your office phone numbers, as well as your contact information on everything that you put out, whether it's social media or otherwise. So if you don't know where to locate the logos, just reach out to me, but you're just going to go onto the Crye-Leike intranet, and they are on the left-hand column under the company header. It just says company logos. Now, where would that go? So the second area we're going to talk about is uploads. So you would simply upload that file, that logo file, if you will. It'll be probably on your desktop, or you'll put it in a folder somewhere. And all you're going to do is click upload file, find that file somewhere. And when you were to, if you were to click on it, double click on it, you'll see it'll drop it right here into my uploads folder. Okay, the other items, I'm going to delete that back out, but okay, the other items you want to make sure you go ahead and add in this uploads folder are your headshot and any other photos associated with what you are working on, what design you're working on, because you want to have everything ready and set to go before you start designing. Kind of like when you're cooking or baking, ideally you want to prep and chop and have everything ready to go so that you can just put everything together. All right. So now that we have that in place, we're going to go back and look at our original design. So we have a photo box or photo here. text boxes here and here and here. We already added our logo, and we have our headshot here, a moving graphic here, and a still image here. So let's go ahead and add the headshot. So where did that come from? So we're going to go back over here to our elements box, the same one we were just in, and we're going to type in photo frame. Now, if you click see all under frames, you'll have all these awesome templates that you can use. So if I wanted round and I click that, you can see this one. If I wanted this kind of curvature one here, all I did was click on it and it dropped it right in there. So I went ahead earlier and chose this one, and now I'm just going to go ahead and put my photo in. So I'm going to go over here and again to the left to my uploads, and I'm going to find my headshot or whatever photo I want to drop in there, but probably yourself. And I have one saved already here. I'm just going to drop and drag. That's all I'm doing. So I'm clicking and holding down, moving it over, dragging. So I'm going to use Steven in this case. That's it. It's that simple. It's drop and drag. I mean, you'll hear me say that probably 10 times. All right, now we've got a bunch of photo boxes here. So how do we get those? We're going to go back over up here to our left-hand column and click the T for text. And you can add a text box here, 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 or here. These are just going to give you some general sizes. So I'm going to use this bigger one because I know I'm going to have a big heading. And all I'm going to do is move it over to where I want, change the word to what I want. And now I have all these options. So I've got fonts, sizes, color, bold, and so on. So I'm going to click the font and you can see me changing it just to see all the different styles there are. So there's so many different options. I actually really also like this button, depending on what kind of font it is, you can change it from capital to lowercase. So it does depend on the font and whether it'll let you do that or not. But play with that because it's a really cool feature. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back here and I'm going to use Tan Merengue because that's the same one I used on the screen before. Keep it consistent. I'm going to leave this nice and big, and then I'm going to go ahead and change my font color here. So these will give to that, but this will give you all the different colors here. Scroll, scroll, scroll. You can even click here and it'll show you a different color wheel. If you know the hex code, you can type it in here. And one other cool feature is, I love this. So this photo colors, it will pull out any colors that are in any photos on your design. And if you want to say match the blue sky, you like the color of the drapes, whatever it is. So that's a really cool feature. I just want to point out. Now, all we would do is simply add another heading. We just clicked right here and continue that process to add our address, if you want to add the price, of course, your name, office phone number, cell phone number, and if you want to add any more details like your website and email and so on. Okay, I'm not going to add all those today just for time's sake because we want to cover a lot of information. But let's go ahead and add the two other features. So back on the screen, we saw this moving star and this gold swirl. So where did those come from? So I'm back over here to my elements screen, and I'm simply going to type in star. Now go down here to either graphics, photos, or more, and I'm going to look at all the different stars. I mean, it's that simple. So here's that one right there that I already used. So I'll click it. And of course, that's really large, so we don't want that big. So we'll size it down a little bit, and boom, there's our star. Now we also have that gold swirl. So I would type that in. And under graphics is where I'm going to go. Either photos or graphics is kind of where I tend to hover. And I love, like I said, all these photo frames. And I've got all of these different gold types of swirls. All right, so let's go ahead and add a gold swirl. I actually have one saved already in my Destin folder, but I'm going to go ahead and drop that in. So now you can see we've basically recreated this design, less some of the additional text boxes right here. And it's that easy. So, all right, let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and jump back into my presentation. All right, so let's talk about templates. It's my absolute favorite part of Canva. They are basically going to be all pre-designed templates, which are going to help you not have to create designs from scratch. And boy, do I love that. That gets a confetti drop. Okay. I think everyone loves templates. At least I know I do, like I said. All right, so let me go actually jump back in there for just a second. All right, I want to show you this template. So this is the example or sample of a template. There's thousands of them though. So this particular one is called the Listed Real Estate Agent template. It's a luxury template and it's sized to Instagram. But what we're going to do with this is use it for the life cycle of your listing. So we're going to use the same template, but make some tweaks and changes so that you don't have to go back and recreate the wheel every time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and for time's sake, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to show you where templates are. So we're going back to our main page, canva.com, home. And then under home, you're going to see the templates area. So you will click that there. And then I'm going to go ahead and search for my template by name. But if I just typed in real estate or I just typed in a coming soon, just listed, whatever it is that you want, you can see how many templates there really are. And these are going to allow you just to drop and drag your photos on, change the text, change the make little changes so that you don't have to come up with these designs yourself. Okay. So I could keep going for days, but I'm not going to. So let's go back up here. Oh, one other thing I want to point out is you can see the crown again. So this is only for sorry, this is only for pro, a pro account or a paid account. So you can't use this particular one I'm using, but you could use this one. You could see there's no crown there. You could use this one. So there are a lot of other options without the crown. You could use this one and so on. All right, so I would normally click this and hit customize this template, and it would drop that template right in for me to use. So that's how I got there. Now I'm going to show you how to use this. So I'm actually going to go back to my home screen just so I can show you. All right, because I have started this design already. All right, so there's the template again. It did have some stock photos in there, but these are basically just photo frames. So we're going to go to our uploads area on the left here, and we are going to pull the photos into this that we have already saved. Now I have mine saved as well in a separate folder, but you would use your uploads folder. All right, so all I'm going to do is simply hold on to this, drop and drag. And that's all I'm doing, and how cool and how easy is that? Drop and drag, drop and drag. Done. All right, that part's done. That took 10 seconds. Now I'm going to drop and drag my headshot in. Again, you would be back in your same folder in your uploads. I'm going to pull Lisa from McDonough in, drop and drag. Now, if for some reason when you dropped it in there, it like did something like that, cut off her head, make sure to notice those details because you're going to take the time to do this. You want your post to look nice. So just double click on that photo and you can move it up and down and adjust it a little bit. Go ahead and add your logo in, and that's again going to be in your uploads folder because you're going to already have that. Be very diligent about ensuring that's on there. That's very important. And then here you're going to have a pre-chosen text for you. The beautifully delicious, I think it is, and I love this font. So we're going to type in simply coming soon, and we would change our location and your name, office, and cell phone number. Now, could we stop there and download this and I'll show you how in a few minutes? Sure, but let's go ahead and hover over these three dots and click duplicate. Once I click that, boom, I'm going to get page 2. Boy, it's the same exact template, but all we're going to do is change the text to just listed. Now, as these things occur in your listing, you can just drop these into your social media without going, oh, I have to now add something in. Well, you've already got three designs already ready in your back pocket, ready to go. Now get ready. It's going to get exciting. Okay, so again, 3 dots, duplicate. All I did with this last one, You can see it's a little different, but all I did was change the text box. So I deleted it and moved it up. And all I did, I'll show you how I created this, but all I did was, and we're gonna make it even more exciting than this in just a second, but all I did was added the T, added my heading, I went here and just added the words sold with an exclamation point. I made it really nice and big and bold so everyone could see how exciting this moment is. Click the A for text box and I changed it to red and I changed my font to this tan Kindred. That's all that I did. Okay. Now, this little guy here, it looks like the recycle symbol will let you whoop, whoop, do that kind of deal. All right. So now we're going to make it fun and we are going to animate that. So I'm going to remove that. Actually, we'll just leave it right there. And off to the right here, you'll see animate. Okay. Keep your eye on the sold word. So I'm going to choose block or burst or bounce or skate. You get the idea. And then you can keep going down, 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 choosing all these choices. But for now, I'm going to leave it on roll. Okay, now we've turned it into kind of a boring-ish, not boring, but average post to something a little more interesting. This should hopefully catch a lot more eyes. Somebody might say, huh, Lisa has sold 3 homes already this month. Oh my gosh, let me contact her and see what's so great about Lisa, which is so many things. Okay, so we're going to click share to get this onto social media, download. It's going to suggest what we want, which is an MP4 video, but just make sure you take out all the other pages because we have 3 designed pages now. We're only going to choose page 3. Okay, Canva is going to do its thing, and as you can see, it's going dun 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 dun. All right, and then after it downloads, we are going to open up our Facebook page and drag it, there's that word again, right into our Facebook page. All right, so in just a couple moments, it will probably drop it up here and you might have something similar to this. Now you could put it onto your desktop if you don't want to do it this way and upload it, but I find this to be kind of the easiest way to do it. So, all right, let's see what's happening here. Actually, that's not it. Come on. Oh, still going. There it goes. Okay, so we'll click on the what's on your mind and I'm going to go to the downloads folder and literally hold on to it and just drop it right in there and hit next. So that took all of like not even 5 minutes. So you can do this like and it makes your designs look so nice and so much more professional. So once Facebook loads this image, I want to just show you kind of what it looks like real quick. So I'm going to refresh my page and then boom, you can see it. So that looks really cool. So it will continue to scroll and do that kind of magic. All right, let me drop that out real quick. Take that out. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation and now we're going to really jump into some more exciting stuff. So we are going to talk about listing videos. Yes, this is the fun part. So there's 2 examples I want to show you. The first one was for Kathleen Longspa, and she's in our coming office here. And this was a really cool video. It was a mountain home video that she listed. That video got over 600 views, and she actually got a showing from her video, and she just recently sold it. So that's really exciting. And then the second one is just kind of a fun video I created for Destin. For the conference. So, all right, let's take a look at those and then I'll show you how to make them. look at the second one. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through these steps now, but here are the general steps. So the first one, we're going to go back to our home page and we're going to choose the video option, and then you will choose which type of video you would like. The second one, we're going to go back to our uploads area and add in our photos. And the third one is going to be customization. And those items are going to be the following. So we're going to add music. We're going to add text boxes to describe our video. We're going to make sure our logo is in there, our headshot, and our contact information. And then if we want to take it to the next level, we are going to add transitions. If we need to change the order of the slides, I'll show you that. And then finally, if we have extra time, we're going to add in a few additional elements, which would be little additional graphics on the page, which I'll show you. And then we can again share and upload that to social media. So let's go out of here. I am going to go back to my home screen to show you where you would go. So you would go back to canva.com homepage and then right here to video. Now it's going to ask you what kind of video that you want. I'm using this video landscape. It works really well for Facebook. Probably wouldn't be quite as good for Instagram, but there is a mobile option, an Instagram story. There is another Facebook video option that's more squared off, YouTube, and you can click to the right and see all the different options, TikTok and more. So you can just keep scrolling and find the one you want. And once you click on that one item that you want, it will open up another page that will allow you to start designing, such as this, okay? Now, since I already started one, I just wanted you to see how I got here. I am going to go back to the one I started to show you how to build this. So you saw what it looks like. It starts you with just a white square or rectangle, if you will. And then should you want to add additional slides, which you will, it'll give you an option to hit that plus sign. So once you hit plus, you'll see, boom, I'll get another page or slide. I just want to show you that first if that doesn't pop up right away. Okay, so where do we start? I would start by adding in your photos. So add your photos in the order that it might make the most sense, whether it's like the front of the house, a front door, going into, say, a kitchen, living room, bedroom, bathroom, so on. So something like that. Now, if you drop them in and you don't like the way it looks, I'll show you how to move them around. But all right, you're going to go back to your uploads folder here. I'm going into my also separate uploads folder, which I call Destin. So all I'm doing is taking the photo that I want. Let's do the kitchen because I already dropped this first one in, okay? But here's what I'm doing. Holding, dropping, same thing. It's simple, drop and drag. Drop and drag. Let's go maybe to a bedroom, drop and drag our bathroom. Maybe we want to add like a little beachy picture, drop and drag. You get the idea. So easy, little outdoor space. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so if I wanted to say, oh, hey, I want to swap these two, I would hold this one down and you see how it already starts to move, and I would just move it to where I want it in front of the other one and let go. So now I've got photo of the house and then my beach picture, and then we'll talk about this in a second, which is our last slide. Okay. So that's as easy as that. Now, The next thing I would add is music. So under here, there's an add audio. You see that add audio? This is kind of in the way, but okay. Click that. It'll bring up a panel on the left. You can search for whatever you want. You can search in background music, Halloween music, happy music, jazz, reggae, whatever. And it'll give you a whole bunch of different choices around here. You can see pop, happy, epic, all of these things that I had previously searched for, piano. So if you click this little button here, it'll let you preview it before you use it. So if you find the one you want, you'll simply, let's do the happy music. You simply hold it and drop it the length of your video. You'll see it turned blue. That's it. So now if I were to play this, okay, I've got music. That's pretty cool. Now, two things with the music. I love this. This is a pro feature, but this beat sync, if you click that and hit sync now, it's really awesome. It kind of syncs the beat of the music with the slide changes. So if it's like dun 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 boom dun dun dun, that's when the slide changes. Like you get the idea. I don't want to sing to you. Okay, then fade, I would also use that. So as the music comes on a couple seconds in, kind of just has a nice feature to fade in and fade out nicely before, so that, sorry, not before, but so that it doesn't end so abruptly at the end, like dun 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 dun, dun boom, and then you're like, oh, okay, I guess it's over. Just has a nice flow. So that is audio. The other thing I would add, the next thing I would add would be text boxes. And the reason I would add these text boxes is to do some sort of description or descriptor on each page. Now, obviously they can see what they are, but it just adds a nice touch. So with the first one, all I did was simply go back over here to text, added a heading in right here. Gotta kind of move it sometimes. And then I changed this font right here to this one, which was that Gaggelin. So that's all I did was I changed the font. And now I'm going to add in, if you want to add something else besides the address, if you want to make it more creative, definitely do that. Another option is just what I'm doing is just to add the address at the top. Now, to me, this is kind of hard to see. So I love this effect right here. If you click effects, background over to the left, it's really a shortcut to adding a background color in. Now, if you don't like the yellow, no problem. You can change that. Just go down here and pick a different color. But I personally think that yellow is a really nice and poppy kind of color. And so I would leave that for now. Now, go ahead and add that in for each slide. So a simple way to do that is to right click, hit copy, go here to your next slide, right click, paste. And then all you have to do at that point is change the description. So I would say something like modern, breezy, and bright. And then if you want to get creative again, go back to effects, background, and change your color to keep it interesting. If you want that or that, whatever you want. You could also go down here to shape and make it curved. And then continue that process through each slide. So copy, paste here, copy, paste here, copy, paste here. Okay, keep the colors the same, change them up. It's all what you like. Now, one other thing I would definitely add is going to be this call to action. So at the end, you want to have your photo, your contact information. So how do we do that or create that? You would simply add another page. So plus, it's going to default to white. So let me put it back here. So this is what it's going to look like. I would consider changing that background page to a black background because to me, it's more, everything sort of stands out a little bit more. And it just gives you that sort of shock knowing, oh, it's the end. Oh, and it kind of shocks you into, oh, wow, who's this? And I want to learn, more about this home. I don't know, just kind of it's more powerful to me, but you do what you like. So how did I create this? So back here on this page, all I did was go back to my uploads and I had that picture of Christy Crumbly in my uploads. Now, I actually saved it again in a separate folder for my presentation, but it's right here. So I just simply clicked, it dropped it on here, I pulled it into the corner. Now, two kind of fun tips. You can flip that to face her inwards. So that's a neat feature, or upside down. No, just kidding. And if you have a pro account, you will love this feature. It's probably the most popular pro feature. You would hit BG remover and voila. Okay, so the background is gone. Again, you can size this small, large, whatever looks good to you. All of these other elements here, 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 all of these are just text boxes. So I just added a text box. I changed it to this Sans. Oh, that's a tongue twister if you say it fast. I added this one in. I changed it to Brittany font. And again, these are the same Sensa, Sans, whatever. I just literally changed the color from black or white, sorry, to yellow. And then again, I went back to my uploads because I already had that saved. And I added let me see if I have one in here somewhere. Well, this is a property management one, but we could use it. I just added my logo in, okay? That was it. I sized it down to what I thought looked good and I put it right in there. Boop, that was it, okay? So that's how I added the logo in. And then this little element is just that. If we go to the elements on the left, I just typed in cell phone and it gave me under graphics all of these different cell phones. Now, I will show you a little tip. If you scroll to the right and go under animation, if you want ones that only move, you would click animated and filter that out. And there's that same phone right there. And you would just click that. That's it. Okay. All right, so we've got basically everything set up. The only thing I would add extra, well, two things. One is transitions. So if I were to hover in between any two slides, you would see the plus for adding pages and the add transition button. If I click that, you can see it's showing me as I hover over these, ooh, all the different options that I could do with that. So these are really cool. I'm going to choose the circle wipe and click that, and then click this little apply between all pages. That way I don't have to add a transition between every single page. The final thing I would add, only if you want, is a little extra element to the page. So we're going to have a caption, if you will, or a descriptor up here, but it might be fun just for some slides. You don't have to do it on all of them. If you add in just that little extra something. So this is a beach picture. I might like that. Just throw those in if you have a little extra time. You want to make it a little extra exciting. All right, now it's basically finished. So what would it look like as a finished product? Let me show you. Here we go. All right. So that is everything that I wanted to show you today. Here is my contact information, my phone and email. I do actually have a handout that I passed out at Destin that I will attach to the presentation. And I did not have time to go over the entire QR section, which I wanted to do as well. But I will include that in the video as well. So. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm glad to help you. Thanks, everybody, and